Yo, welcome. It's me, Emerzy Corbin, the infamous magical, mystical unicorn, resident DJ for Afro House Party, and I'm here to interview the brilliant Shona. So I'm going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about all things Afro House music and happy. Join me, like, share. You know how we do it. So Shona, are you there?
I'm here.
Are you
I'm
around
here. I'm
now?
here. I'm here, my brother. I'm here. I'm here.
Blessings, greetings and
Blessings to you too.
salutations.
Greetings to you. Greetings to everybody.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for
first of
having
all,
me, guys.
yeah, what made you smile today, bruv? Tell me what's made you smile. What made you happy
Easy.
today?
Easy. Two things.
Yeah, tell me.
Easy. Interview, drum radio,
Yes.
and the
Big up
drink
Dub
in my cup.
Radio. Oh, what's the
And
drink
the
in your
drink
cup?
in my cup. Yeah.
Where's mine? Where's mine?
Come over, bro. Come over.
I'm,
Come get some.
I'm taking that as a contract, bruv. I'm coming. You're gonna put
Yeah,
me up,
yeah.
yeah? We're gonna barbecue in the back, yeah?
Diff. Most diff. We call it shisonyama this side.
Say that again for me. My pronunciation's terrible, so you're gonna have to say that slow for me.
Shisanyama.
Oh, that's sexy. I like that.
Or in my home language, which is
hmm
Shona, we'll call it
hmm
coach.
Okay, cool.
But
I used to date.
don't worry, I'll teach
I
you.
used to.
Don't worry.
I used to date a Zimbabwean girl, yeah, and I can remember being at a barbecue, and I was like, "How do you
Really?
not eat so much alcohol?" They're like, "Meat. We eat meat," and I always remember that from back in the day.
She's smart. She must be my little sister. She's very smart.
Oh,
Yeah.
so thanks again for joining us. And the first thing I wanted to ask you about
Yeah.
is your music, innit? So, like,
Yes.
tell me what inspires you. What's your process for making a song? How how do you go from start to finish?
Okay. Actually, I think it depends on it depends on my mood at the time. Mostly, most of the records I've made have been it's always been like a spiritual process for
Mm-hmm,
me. Like I get ideas, I get melodies, I hear voices, I hear melodies, I hear stuff like, okay, fine, these lyrics have to go like this melody has to go like this. And
mm-hmm,
so for me it's like a battle against time.
mm-hmm.
So I need to lay down every single idea that I have at that specific moment. I have to lay it down as quick as I can because
So you're
is
one of
these
them
ideas
people
come
who
and they
gets up
go.
in 3 in the morning. You get up in 3 in the morning in the studio. If it comes to you at
I
three
used
o'clock in the
to, I
morning,
used to, I used to, and then I got into a relationship and I adjusted. No, yeah, really. Back then, I could just wake up at 3, like, but you have your partner, and you adjust to this thing. So I don't do three in the morning anymore. I'll be lying. I used to. I used to though. I used to. So yeah, that if that answers your question, I used to, but I think it's better this way because my creative juices have kind of like changed.
hmm
They come in the morning, like maybe around 9, 11, 4 in the late 4 in the afternoon. I've set in time schedules that I have, like when I know these juices are gonna flow, when
so you
tracks
can so you
are
can
gonna
you can do
flow.
your creativity.
Not even. It happens. It used to be early mornings, like
Okay,
anytime between 1 o'clock until 5 in the morning, and
okay,
then it
but
switched.
okay,
It all just switched. I think it was the work ethic because like I changed work schedules. I think maybe just because of that. I don't know,
hmm
but I don't work on music late in the morning that much anymore. I hardly do that,
okay.
and she
And
will be
what's
my witness. She knows that I hardly do that.
so tell me what are the things that inspire you? What inspires you? Like you told me about the process of it, but what are
Yeah.
the things that bring those ideas to you? What is it? Being in the shower, walking with your girl, something you eat, something you smell, something you hear. What are the things that inspire you?
Um, to be honest with me, to be honest with you, it's
You can be
people.
honest with yourself if you want as well. That's fine.
Yeah, it's people. It's
Okay.
people. It's culture. It's spirituality. I'm a very spiritual person as well. When it comes to my
Mhm,
music, I'm very
mhm,
spiritual, and I was raised in a very strong Christian background. Like
mhm,
both my grandparents were ministers. Like they were
mhm,
both pastors. So you kind of get the picture I was raised in.
mhm,
But not saying that that perfect kind of guy. But I was raised to be in touch with my spirituality in a way, and I can never really express myself in any other way except for music. Is what I've realized. So what happens is at times, if I'm feeling any kind of way, if I'm feeling down, or if I'm feeling motivated, I always have a way to express it. And I feel like I have a role to play. There's people out there that always go through certain things, and certain things that people never know exist sometimes. Like there's a lot of young kids out there that have depression issues, that feel like giving up, that kind of stuff. It kind of like motivates me to make music more and more. If most of my tracks, just because most of them are in Shona,
mhm.
a few people really understand my native language, but most of my songs are uplifting songs. So I'm about that. I'm about the movement. I'm about Afro House, the movement. I'm about lifting up, you know, people that are going through things. That's what I'm basically about. Minus,
No,
I'm not saying I never have a joy, I never have a blast with the music and have fun with it. I can have fun with it, but my primary goal has always been to make something that to produce a record that if somebody listens to, they can say to themselves, wow, and here I was about to give up. And every single DM, every single message I get from anybody's life that I've touched and given hope to,
mhm.
even gives me more motivation. So yeah, that's basically my music. It's really for the people, honestly.
It's interesting you say that because I'm a DJ as well. I was speaking to Lizwie a couple of weeks back, and she was talking about the religious or the spiritual side of her music as well. So what I
Hmm.
want to ask you is, do you think in general Afro house, Piano is a very spiritual, uplifting music in general? Is that part of the vibe?
Oh, okay. To answer this question, every genre has a spiritual side. It's
Okay,
the artist
the
that
artist.
determines that. Yes, the artist. Hip hop is spiritual, but you can have artists like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, um, Gucci Man. They prefer to have fun,
Hmm.
And then we can bring in we can bring in like artists like KRS-One, Mos Def, Nas, Kweli. They have common. They have a spiritual side to them. You know what I'm saying? So
That's it.
every genre, even rock, has a spiritual side.
Yeah, I
Even
can see that.
I'm a so I'm a piano has a spiritual side. Yes, I've actually had some very spiritual I'm a piano that's been out there before. I have had a couple of tracks. Every genre has a spiritual side. I believe
Okay.
that every genre has potential to be uplifting to the youth as well, or to anybody going through stuff. It's all about the artist. It's not about the beat. The beat is just a style to express yourself. Like I love all genres. I appreciate all genres. I'm not cool with some of them as in I'm cool with producing them, but I can listen to it. If a track is good, it's good. It's a good record, it's a good record. Period. So
That's
yeah.
the thing. You just said that to me, and I want to ask you two questions. The
Yeah.
first one I'm going to ask you, yeah,
Yes.
is about because Afro House is an EDM, it's an electronic dance music style. How much influence in that spirituality that you just mentioned do the
Hmm.
DJs play? How did they affect it? Do you think some DJs play to that spirituality and others don't, or do you think that's the general thing that makes people dance on the dance floor?
Um. Okay. This
I
I'm
asked
trying to
those
put.
deep questions. Sorry,
I'm
bro.
actually I'm actually trying to find a good way to put this. Okay.
What speak your mind, bro? It's
Same
fine.
thing. Same thing as I said about the artist. It's up to the DJ as well. How deep is the DJ? Because it doesn't mean that if something is spiritual is boring.
Mm-hmm.
You get it. I have a lot of spiritual tracks that surprisingly have actually
Have power.
did well on a dance floor. Like on a dance floor, like in a dance floor tip, like people can actually dance to them. Mukuru, one of my tracks, Mukuru with Fresh and Odious. That's a spiritual
Mm-hmm.
track, very spiritual. Like that's very spiritual, but it did well on the dance floors. So I think it also has to do with the DJ. Like if you're a DJ, you can find the right record. Even if you're spiritual, you can find the right record and still play it and still get people to dance to it. It doesn't mean spiritual is boring because people get when they think spiritual, people always think. I'll give for example gospel. They
Gospel.
always think it's gotta be oh hallelujah, in that slow tempo and everybody's bored. Like I don't listen to that kind of gospel as well. Like I'll get bored.
Fair enough.
But there
Well, you need
is there
me.
is great there is great music. There is great gospel. Like if you listen to it, you're like wow,
Mm.
you know.
Well, you
But
just led me
it's
to the
still spreading
perfect
this.
place for my next question. Then.
Okay.
So like I'm still on the influences. I'm still on like seeing what makes you tick, what makes you the artist you are. So I'm
Yeah.
asking you what influences outside EDM, musical influences. What kind of music do you listen to outside piano, EDM, Afro house? What you mentioned gospel before. Was there anything else? You mentioned hip hop as well, but is there anything a little more obscure like that you listen to? Me personally, like I'll give you an example.
Anything? Are you asking about original genres that have been there from way back in the day? When I say original, I mean like genres that started off, or are you talking about any genre?
I'm talking about any genre. For example, yeah, if you come to
Okay.
my house sometimes, yeah, I'll just be
Yeah.
listening to the craziest rock tracks. Or sometimes
Okay.
I've been into jazz music since I was like 12. So sometimes you listen
Nice.
to that. So I'm kind of interested in those kind of things past hip
Okay.
hop and EDM
That's
and
easy. That's quite
that's
easy. That's
easy.
very
Good
easy.
stuff.
Um. Okay. I was raised by a single mother, very
Hmm.
musical parent. So but I used to go to my dad's over holidays and stuff. So my mom had the greatest influence in terms of what music I digest. I grew up listening to guys like Lionel Richie. I grew up listening to your Whitney Houston's, the
Hmm.
likes. And then I personally, on my own, I developed a liking for Afropop. So I love Salif Keita. Like if there's anybody that I would ever want to work with in my
Hmm.
career, okay, I was supposed to do something with Oliver before he passed on.
Hmm.
I'd
Hmm.
actually spoken to him here, there, and then he'd say that he was busy with the project at that time. That was about maybe 2 months before he passed. It was really sad. But besides that, Salif, if I could just do something with Salif Keita, I'm a huge fan. Like
Yeah, I'm a
I
huge
love
fan
that.
actually.
I love
I can
Afropop.
co-sign that one.
Angelique Kijo,
Oh wow, your pronunciation's wicked, bro.
Ismail Low. Like
Okay, cool.
I'm that kind of guy. Yeah, I'm that kind of guy. Like on a low key, these are the kind of tracks that you find on my Spotify that I'll be playing if I have headsets on. People probably thinking, "Oh, he's listening to Afro House," but I'll be playing those kind of tracks. That's
Low key,
for
yeah.
me. That motivates me exactly. So artists like Oliver Mtukudzi, them, South Africa. There's you, but Brenda
Hmm.
Fassie was quite solid. There's like South Africa has got a rich content that I actually listen to because my motivation comes from our forefathers, our fathers, our grandfathers, who
Our
started it off.
ancestors. Hmm.
And then the other thing is, I know this might sound awkward to a lot of people. I secretly listen to Mbira. It's a local cultural Zimbabwean type of genre.
Hmm.
And so most of my groove comes from there. It's more of hand clap and that Mbira instrument kind of it's got a certain rhythm. If you listen to tracks like Onai,
Mhm.
Tracks like from my album, Hungwe, tracks like Hungwe, Onai, tracks like which one has that same particular rhythm? There's a certain rhythm that's offbeat. It's more of a cultural rhythm from my side. So stuff like that I usually play. Like I play for motivation. Um, I love Kenyan culture very much, like the Maasai tribes and stuff. I'm fascinated
Mhm.
by that stuff. That's me. That's basically I'm fascinated by African music, and it's sad because if I had known this earlier,
But you can never say
I
that,
think
bro. It's your time to know something when it's your time to know something. For
yes,
example,
I get that.
I do a lot. I do a lot of body painting, so I understand what you understand. I do understand about the Maasai culture. I took a lot of influences from that with my body
Yeah,
painting. If you see the picture behind the background, like a lot of the tribal banner things,
yeah,
which was
yeah, yeah,
interesting
yeah.
because yeah. So I was listening to one of your tracks actually. I was listening to Moon Dance, and I was like, and I found, and this is why I've been asking you about influences because
Yeah.
I found a very much a 1970s, I wouldn't say fella, it's not fella, more like 1970s tree, that boogie boogie, like you said, that groove in it. So
Hmm.
I wanted to ask you about being based in Zimbabwe and how that changes your sound compared to a lot of the guys coming out of South Africa. Like in all the positive ways, of obviously. What are
Actually,
the
I'm based in South
differences?
Africa. Actually, I'll correct you there. I'm based.
Oh,
I'm from Zimbabwe, but I'm based in South Africa. I've been
based in
based
South
here for
Africa.
like over I think it's about 10 years now.
Wow.
But I hear your question. The thing is, I've always felt I, I love South African culture.
Mhm.
I've love I love what they've done with Afro House, what they've done with house music in general.
Yeah,
Very
me too.
rich. It's a very rich country in terms of house music. It's got a lot of talent and a lot of support and following in terms of house music, Afro House, Afro. I don't care whatever genre it is, as long as it's dance music.
Mhm.
It's a very big market, and I just
Mhm.
think it just needs to grow a bit more. There's certain obviously it can't be perfect, but it's better than where
Mhm.
I come from.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to Zimbabwe, when it comes to house music, it's like maybe 2% of the population. You
Mhm.
know, like
Mhm.
straight up. Like um, I used to I used to produce like EDM, like electronic, not just Afro, like progressive house, the trance,
Mhm.
the you know that kind of house, the piano house, the organ house, the classic house. That's the kind of stuff I
Mhm.
used to produce at first. And I actually went with a different alias at that time. I used to be called Kamatronics at that time. That's my other alias when it comes to
Mhm.
that other stuff. So what happened is I dropped an album.
Mhm.
First single, I dropped the first single. It was 2016. First single, it did pretty well. It wasn't so bad, like it got good. It, it got good reactions on radio, and it was played the kakaro on radio, and which was good.
Mhm.
And I dropped the second single and also did well. And then I thought, let me drop an album. Biggest mistake of my life.
Why? Tell me why.
Dude, oh man, nobody listened. Nobody paid attention, man. Like nobody, when you pour your heart out into something and nobody listens. Yeah, it was more like that. So I kind of like took a break, maybe a
Mhm.
few months, about almost a year, like 8 months or so. I wasn't really motivated to make music. And then a good friend of mine, who's my manager now,
Mhm.
Mark Stent, is like, dude, I know how you feel right now, but I think you need to get back out there and start making music. I'm like, what am I really gonna make? Like nobody in Africa wants to listen to any EDM, bro. Like he does similar stuff. He does techno as well. I'm like, okay, what are you thinking? Is like, dude, I think you need to go Afro. It's easier for you because those are your roots. I mean, I'm white, you black. I'm not saying that anybody who's white has no roots in Afro. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. This is our conversation between me and him because he's never done Afro. He doesn't do Afro at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like, and I think you just need to. It's a sign for you just to re refine yourself and start from scratch, building from
Is
scratch.
Afro easier space for you to produce in? Would you say that?
Um, honestly, I'm at home.
Hmm.
I'm at home. And also, but if I say I'm at home, I would be lying because I'm pretty much, I would love to say I'm pretty much flexible with a lot of
Hmm.
genres. I won't mention some of the genres I can produce as well, but I pretty much produce a lot of genres. My close friends and the people in my circles who know me very, very well know that, okay, I can switch from point A to B. But Afro, yeah, I'm home. Like, come on, dude. I used to go to the rural areas when I was young, and I used to find my grandma playing that drum or something, and this guy's dancing around the fire at times, telling us stories. My granddad, like the contrast between my family was my mom's family Christians, my dad's family traditionalists. Do
Hmm.
you get it?
Okay, I
So
get it.
I got, I was exposed to both of this sides in such a way
Hmm.
that when it comes to my dad's side, it's always when we get home, like if I'm going back to Zimbabwe right now, and if I'm go to the rural areas, it's always gonna be, you remember your great dad, blah blah blah. I used to love this. That's where you get it from. You see that rhythm that you always have. I listen to the one song, you get family members telling you that.
Yeah,
Your great uncle, your great this and that, love that kind of sound, or that kind of vibe. So I guess I just kind of like put it all together, and I realized, at the end of the day, as much as I'm Christian, I also come from tradition, the good parts of it, the positive sides of it, which is culture, like beautiful culture. Like there's beautiful cultures like that we had then, our forefathers had back then, that we don't have now, that kids right now don't even know, that the modern youth don't respect. Like, I went to school at a time where if you passed a school teacher, you removed your hat, you're wearing your hat, and you say good morning, sir, or good morning, ma'am.
Mhm.
Nowadays, you walk into a school, kids just pass and out. They don't say anything. They don't greet. So it's a different time, man. Like really, that's how I feel. So I think those kind of those small little things kind of
Mhm.
like define me in a way. I think
Okay.
it makes me kind of different from a lot of stuff that I see, and I thrive to be different. Basically, that's what I'm about. So when it comes to my sound, I always try to, by all means, to relate to the stuff I understand better. And if I don't understand something, I try to have a listen and appreciate and see where it's going. And if it's for me, it's for me. If it's not for me, I let the wave ride.
I totally get that because uh, I'm West Indian. My parents are from the Caribbean, but I can
Okay.
remember. I can probably remember the first Afro house song I heard was Blue L, We Are Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I was probably myself, I was on the whole EDM wave as well, playing a lot of trap music, that kind of vibe,
Okay.
trap and
Yeah, yeah.
grime and that kind of thing. And when I heard this song, it was like, what is this? What is this?
Exactly. Curiosity,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah, it's just, it touched my spirit. So I definitely get that, you know. And like,
Mm-hmm.
you've been in this a little while and you've been busy, you know. I was researching you and you worked with the hardest guy in Afro House and Avo. You've worked with some other people
That's my
as
boy.
well.
That's my brother right there. That's my brother. Much love for Evo. That's my
Yeah,
brother.
man. Yeah. So like, so tell me, what have been some of your most enjoyable collaborations?
That's
You
tricky.
like how I
Are you trying to
phrased
put me
that?
on the spotlight?
No,
Are you trying to put me on the
I just said
spotlight?
what you. I didn't say what was the best or the worst. I said your most enjoyable. You know, like what has been the most, seamless, the most inspirational? I'm not telling you to put. I ain't putting you on the spot like that. I'm just saying,
Let me take a sip. 1 second. Okay. uh, am I only allowed to say one, or do I have?
I
Can
did.
I say?
You're the one. I said what? I said collaborations. I put S on
Oh,
that
okay.
then. So that's up
Wow,
to you.
dude. Okay. One of my greatest collabs ever. My first collab. Um. So this guy, before, like, I knew this guy through, like, mutual friends,
Hmm.
and he introduced me to one of his artists. Then, she's a star now. I don't want to mention names.
Hmm.
She's a huge piano star right now. But first time we met with this guy, it was through mutual friends and through music, and I was still producing EDM then. But my best collaboration with him started. The magic started when I had a track called Madziva. It's off my album Ungwe.
Hmm.
This track, I don't know where it came from. It's like I say, sometimes I just hear these voices, I just hear these sounds in my head, and I just lay them down. That's all I'm doing. I believe I'm just somebody, just I'm like a medium or a messenger that just portrays it and plays it as it
Hmm.
as it comes into my head. So I had this track called Madziva. So I came up with the chord progression first, and wow, okay, this, I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy inside already. And the next thing, lyrics are coming in, melodies are coming in. I go into the booth, I record myself. By the way, I record myself at times first. Went to the booth, recorded myself, and I'm like, okay, you can't sing, right? Okay, I know I can't sing, but cool. But who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do justice to this? So I approached him, audience. I approached him, and I told him, dude, I need exactly this. So I didn't think you'd understand the first time. I just thought, I'm just trying, bro. When he sent back the vocals to me, it was the rest was history, man. Exactly as
Amazing.
I envisioned it.
Yeah.
And at that moment in time, we started talking more. From that collab, we started talking more, and as people, we knew each other already in the industry, but we started talking more and connected more. And then I realized that we actually share the same totem. We like have, the same forefathers and all that kind of stuff. So it got even crazier, and the collabs from then have been crazy. So for me, I would say craziest collabs I've had: Evo,
Hmm.
Odious. Um, I've got some new stuff that I'm working on. There's a crazy collabs as
Hold it,
well,
hold
but
it,
I
hold
didn't
it,
want
hold it.
to.
That's the next question. Hold it. That's the next question.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So far that I've done that you guys know of, yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
Evo. I would say Odious, and I would
Hmm.
say there's a young lady called Nomvula.
Okay.
Oh my god, that for me was one as well. Like Nomvula is, in terms of vocals, that was on levels. Let me
I'm just
see. Is
putting
there
it out there while you're here, though. Remember, resident DJ Afro House Party. So if you ever want to send through those tracks, bruv, just say it
definitely
though.
diff. I will diff, but I probably thought maybe Evo sent them to you guys already from Celsius Degrees, because
Well,
most of them
like
are from Celsius.
the truth. But here's the thing, yeah,
Yeah.
like I make my
Okay.
own
Cool.
connects. I make my own connects because
Yeah.
big
I
up to
hear you.
Mr.
I hear
Silk,
you.
but Mr. Silk gets all the good tracks. Big up Mr. Silk still. Yeah.
Big up to Mr. Silk as well. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Cool. No, don't worry. I'll send them through.
yeah,
So
man.
yeah. Nomvula. Who else? There's obviously DJ Fresh. It's always
Hmm.
fun working with Fresh. Fresh is a lot of fun, very motivational, very positive. He's like a older brother, like an uncle sort of to me.
Hmm.
And the I think the track I enjoyed the most when I did with him was By the Water.
Hmm. which
that
I actually
features
have.
Yoka. Yeah, by the water actually was actually quite fun. And there's a track we did with Afro Traction again with Fresh called um, Jesus. How do you even forget your own title for your song?
Tis. He'll come
If
to you.
I
Don't stress
lose
it. Don't
you,
stress it.
if I
Don't stress
lose you,
it.
if I lose you, exactly. There's the dub mix. If I lose you, and the dub mix is Fresh's favorite because that was his baby. Like he was like literally like no, we need to do it in a different total vibe. So it was actually some great experiences I had. So I
Well,
think
like
yeah, those are like
I have
one
by
of
the
my
water. I can remember dropping it at Miranda one time,
yeah
and it's one of them
yeah.
tunes, yeah. But I'll tell you a story about that tune. Like me and my
Mm.
pops are close. Me and my pops are close. My dad's here in my
Mhm.
room jamming. We're jamming. Like my dad's 88 now,
Okay.
so he's big old, yeah. And I was
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
this tune. I'm practicing my set. Got my decks here. My dad was like, "What's that? What's that tune there? What's that?" So I'll tell you that now make you smile inside still. And
Wow,
because my
man.
dad likes Afro House though still. So and this is the beauty of Afro House, you know, like
Mhm.
it touches you in a place that touches you here, like kind of thing. Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Wow.
now I'll give you opportunity to tell me about what's coming. Tell me what you got coming down the pipeline. Tell me what's the new things coming.
Bruv. Okay. Okay. This is how I kicked off 2021. Ever since the lockdown, I told
Mm-hmm.
myself, okay, I'm a new cat in this whole game. And like the Afro House scene, I'm a brand new cat. Nobody knows me. It's okay. Luckily enough, I've been blessed to have a few connections of people that actually know me and actually have heard my music, given time to listen to my music and appreciate it. And to every one of them, I salute you. So this year has always been about I want to get out as many records as I can. That's my theme for the year. As many records as I can. I'm not. I'm no longer. I'm no longer looking at. Oh, you gotta wait for the record to sink in, dude. I ain't gonna wait for you to sink in. If you late, catch up next month. I don't care. Honestly, I just want to drop tracks. Right now, I have tons of tracks I want to drop. So when I say upcoming tracks, I've got more tracks from with Evo. I have an album coming up with Odious. I have an EP that I want to do on my own. I have a couple of singles with Fresh. I have what else do I have? I have a single with Native Tribe, the Cubic. I have
Okay. Let me stop you.
like
Stop. Let me stop you. Let me stop you. Stop. 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 Take a breath.
okay.
What was that
That's
like?
fine.
Because Native Tribes got a different sound to you in a way. Like it's a,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
it's a different sound. Yeah. So
Oh,
tell me about that.
that boy is crazy. He's crazy. I'm not saying that in a bad way. He's actually mad. You guys actually think he's normal. He's mad. And I'll actually tell you this. I'll say the same thing about Evil. Crazy too. Those guys are not normal.
I
No, no,
don't like
I'm
normal.
being.
I'm not here for normal, you know. Like I'm
They're
not here for
crazy,
normal.
dude. You can never. Okay, there's certain people that make you feel a certain way. Okay, there's certain people, certain that always make you feel in a certain particular way when you listen to their stuff. Like, wow. And then where did this come from? Like that kind of vibe, you know? And the moment I get that reaction to somebody's music, then I know that okay, I'm officially a fan.
Hmm.
Officially a fan. Like I have a lot of artists I do that with a couple, you know, but and Evo is one of them. I feel touched by everything that he does. Like his music has got a certain feel that it has. Certain it gives me goosebumps. Native Tribe makes me want just want to take off all my clothes, go back in the jungle, put on my animal skin, and just go hunting. You
Do you know
dig?
who I feel that
And I ain't
about?
ashamed to do that.
Yeah,
Yes, you
yeah.
understand? Like it's vibes like that. It's vibes like that, and it's there's a couple of artists that make me feel different ways. They make me feel uh differently according to the type of music they make. Because I digest a lot of different types of music, genres. Even I don't care whatever it is. I'll never judge a genre. I'll never judge a sound that I really don't understand. The only time I won't even mess with it is if I don't understand it. Like if it's not for me, like okay, this is not for me. This is not for me.
Well, I get that. There's two things for me. Yeah. As a DJ, I've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
a bad habit. I know some of my DJ friends cuss me out about it. I have this thing I do. I call it the
yeah,
10
yeah.
second rule. So
Okay.
I'll play a track, yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
10 seconds. The intro of it. If I don't like it in 10 seconds, I'm not playing it.
Wow, dude. So you're
Like,
probably not gonna like most of my tracks, bro.
no. I played some of your tracks. I have some of your tracks. Like, so that's not
Because the
even the
first 10
point.
seconds is like is just a 4-step kick, bro. And some atmosphere.
Yeah, it is just a four-step kick. But it's the construct of the
Hmm.
four-step kick. How it's just how it drops tells you everything
Okay.
about the track, right?
Okay.
That's just my whole personal thing, though, you know. But
Yeah, yeah.
right, like big up Danby, like she's always teasing me, yeah, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Lizwe. I love Lizwe. Like I've got
No,
every track
no,
that Lizwe
Louis is amazing. No, 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 no.
ever
Listen,
made.
if I believe there's vocalists like Louisi,
Yeah,
Toshi,
yeah.
that if a young
Tabia.
if a young dude like me gets to collab with those people, I think I'd literally lose my mind. Like I'd go crazy on that record. Like I'd go ape shit on that record. Easy. Because those people like okay, for example, Louisia's got this energy that she has. She's got this aura, like this hardcore Afro aura that she has. This African strong, like Winnie Mandela kind of
Mm-hmm.
vibe. Yeah, that's the vibe she has in your face. Like, dude, I'm here.
She's
So
the
you
queen
know
of
that vibe.
Zamunda. Yes, I get you.
And then Toshi has got this calmness that she has. Like, listen, son, relax. Sit down, listen to what I'm about to say. She's that kind of she's like an aunt, like a mom and aunt that will tell you, chill and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit down, relax, listen, calm down. So like I think those two artists are like on I don't know, man. I think they've paved ways for even young artists like I just mentioned this young kid coming up, Nomvula. It's quite
Mm-hmm.
good. I think she just needs a bit more collabs on under her belt, but she's also as good as well. So like when you come to cultural kind of stuff, yeah. So yeah, they've set up a foundation, and I agree with you, Luigi. Crazy. That's I think you're actually in the queue with everybody else that loves her.
No,
That
no,
loves her
no,
music.
no, no. I am the ultimate fanboy. I am a
Okay,
number one fan.
okay,
No
okay.
one is arguing. No one. I'll fight them. Fight.
Take the throne, bro. Take the throne.
That's
It's
right.
okay.
Um, I wanted to talk to you about because we want to play some of your tracks, so we'll give some space
Okay.
to talk about that.
Yeah.
So forgive me if I say this wrong, right? So you had
Mm.
Nibo on
Yeah.
Undercover Mute on Celsius. That was released on Celsius. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And Fembele. I've probably said
Which
that
one?
wrong. Filbele on
Fibele.
that was on or Flam on Undercover Music.
No, that's Pambili.
See, my pronunciation is terrible. Say it
I
one
know.
more
I
time
know.
for me.
Yeah, but I'm trying to teach you. Pambili.
Pambele.
Mbi. Say mbi.
Pa B.
Mbi. Yeah, mbi. Mbambe mbimbo mbu. Mbi.
Wow. When I see you, you think
Pambili.
I'll fly
Yeah.
over there. You can give me some personal lessons, bro. I'm not gonna
Diff,
get
man.
into
Diff. Easy, bro. Easy, bro. It's easy. Yeah, Pambili, yeah. On Undercover Music, yes, Pambili. Shout out to all the remixes that were on it. Native Tribe, The Cubic, Suvai, Lion Ave, Kusini. Shout out to the vocalist on it, Baba Loso as well. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
Pambili,
gonna
yeah.
take a minute and
Hmm.
we're gonna just like see if we can play a couple tracks out of that, like make people hear that sound. I do like what you did
Okay,
there, and I definitely like your breakdown in it. I thought that was very cool. Um,
thank you.
Something very
Humbled.
different. Um, I always say when I'm DJing, I like to make stew. Sometimes it's a gussie, sometimes it's another type of stew. I like to make
Yeah,
stew.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm not really one for the echo tricks. I can do it in that, but I'm not one for the echo tricks or the effects.
Yeah.
I'm one for stew. I like to just mix tunes together, keep the people
Hmm.
dancing on the dance floor. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm
Exactly. Yes.
yeah, and I'm definitely think that's a tune for stew to make it nice and spicy. So yes,
Yes. All right. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I do not know what's happening with my phone, but anyway, okay, yeah.
cool. So that's a cool tune. Let me tell. What
Thank you very
are
much.
the tunes that you're looking forward to dropping on the dance floor next? Like yeah, you told me about some of your releases coming up, but what's the one that you just want it to drop on the dance floor? You just want to hear it on the dance floor.
Um, there's a tune. There's a new tune I'm working on with Fresh and Yoka. It's called Into the Night.
Hmm.
I'm excited about that one. Very, very excited. And then there's one I'm working on with. Actually, there's three tunes. And then there's one I'm working on with Evo.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I'm also curious about that one. And then there's one I'm working on with Native Tribe, The Cubic, and Tabs the Soul,
Hmm.
the four of us. Like I literally had this record. Like the boy sent me this record. I was listening to it, and I'm like, "That niggas are crazy. How you do this record without me? Put me on that record. I go sign and say." The guys are like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah. Send me those tips. Send me those tips, Nick. What are you talking about?" So they sent them to me, and I sent it back to them. They were like, okay. I guess you're in." So yeah, I'm also excited about that record as well, and a couple of remixes. I've been doing a couple of remixes as well.
Hmm. Do you prefer
Um,
producing to remixing? What do you prefer? Because it's different
both.
to make your own track to remix. It doesn't matter to you.
Well, well, when I make a remix, I'm literally making my own track. I'm
Hmm.
just using your vocal.
Right.
I
Okay.
don't use much of the stuff. Like I think it's only a few remixes that I've actually used stems from. Like
Hmm.
the last remix I worked on right now,
Hmm.
because I had Native Tribe and Cubic on my compilation for my latest single to do a remix for me. I returned the favor. I had to. You know how it is. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know, boys will be boys. So I did something for Winter Breeze. His track Winter's Breeze, I think. So I think after finishing the remix, I listened to the original again,
Hmm.
and God, I was in love with the guitar. That guitar was amazing. I'm like, I want a few riffs of it. So I asked him to send it to me, and then he loved the idea after you heard it. So I think those would be like one or two of the few remixes I've actually used the original work on it. But mostly I reproduce all my remixes. For me, every remix is like producing a new record. Same vocal, new record.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I really take programming very seriously. Like,
Okay.
and I believe if you don't have a solid idea, this is just for me. This works for me. I'm not saying it works for everybody else. It only works for me. If I don't have a solid idea in the first hour, if I don't have a structure in the first hour, I'm playing. Scrap that record.
That's interesting, because like as an artist myself,
Hmm.
sometimes I feel like some things are just immediate. Like
Hmm.
they start to finish,
Thank
they're
you.
immediate, yeah. And then
Thank you.
other things need time to breathe.
Time.
And like, so even I've had projects, I might have done that in 2016 and I put it
Hmm.
down, and it's not
Hmm.
until now that it's relevant. not so as in relevant to anybody else, but just relevant to me.
Yes.
So which brings me, like, I'm gonna ask you like a question about artistry. Do you know what I mean? Like, like I've heard you talk a lot about your standards and making a new tune. You know, do
Yeah.
you are there things that you just won't let out? They're just not good enough. Are you have you got a high standard? If it's not to a certain standard, it won't release you. Nobody won't see. I take pictures, yeah, and
Definitely.
if I don't like the picture,
Definitely.
it's not
Definitely.
coming off my computer.
Definitely.
You know.
I probably have a couple of records that like okay. I really okay, cool. Okay, let me just say it. All right. So in a day, on a good day, I can make like maybe 3, 4 records on a
Hmm.
good day.
Hmm.
So out of those 3, 4, I might like two. I might like one. You know, because
Hmm.
the thing that happens with me is I, I get ideas, and when they start flowing, it's consistent and it comes rushing in so quickly that I need to lay these ideas down before I forget.
Hmm.
So I the moment I'm laying them down, at times I've noticed if there's a super idea that was meant to be actually a good track, it's the one idea that I focus on that much. I don't know. I think it's feeling. It's just a feeling that I have within my soul that no, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one. We need to focus on this more than anything else. And then I have records that I just work on, and then I'm like, you know what? Save this, put it, and then I'll probably pick it up after a year, maybe. I'm like, what the hell was I doing? And when I listen to it, I'm like, dude, just delete this. Then I have the balls to delete it. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely to answer your question, yes, I do have records I can never, ever, 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 ever get out. Like, was I high? What happened? What did I do? Like, why would I even do this? Like, but I guess it's all a phase. I guess it's all a stage. Like,
It's
if
part of
you
the
were to get,
process.
yes, part of the process to get to that track that you're looking for. But I do work on a lot of tracks. Like every day, I have to write a song, at least one, at
Now
least.
I'm gonna really put you on the spot then.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, of all
Please
those
do.
tunes that you've done,
Yeah, yeah.
what is your personal favorite? I told
Really,
you. I
bro.
told you. Did I say that? I don't say.
Now,
I said,
when you say that, I thought maybe you're gonna ask me a question like a simple question like, so who's the lady in your life? Yeah, like I can handle that. not not those tunes. You can't ask me which. Okay. Wow.
like, okay, so let me let me soften it for you
Okay.
and give you some parameters.
All
So
right.
I'm a photographer, as I've said to you before, as well, amongst other
Yeah. Yeah.
things. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a DJ as well. So there might be certain mixes I did. It might not be the best mix out there that I've ever
Yeah. Yeah.
done. It might not be the smoothest or the slickest, but something about it I just like. The same is true about pictures I've taken. Some of my favorite pictures are not the most technically accurate or the sharpest or the clearest or the best, but there's
Mm-hmm.
something about that picture that just touches me. I just like it, or it
Yes.
reminds me of what I was doing at the time, or so on and so forth. Yeah. So I'm not talking about professionally, technically, anything like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
talking
that's
about.
easy. If that's the case, then that's easy.
Okay.
Um, actually, do I need to mention just one, or do I
Go
need
on,
to?
man. It's your world. Speak, speak.
All right. Madziva.
Okay, cool.
That track, yeah, it's very special to me. It means a lot. That's number one. Um,
You're gonna give me
Kuraone,
more than that. You're gonna
yeah,
give it. It means a lot to you.
Kuraone,
Why?
yes. Um, I think at that time I had like an epiphany, like I needed to change a couple of things, in my life then. Certain things that I felt needed to change, and as well as everybody else had certain things that they're still doing, some are still doing, some have stopped doing, that need to change. Governments have certain things that need to change, bro. Like African governments, I'm sorry if they'll probably shoot me down for this. I mean, they're the worst, bro. Like, there's certain things that need to change, bro. Like, that stuff needs to go. So, Madziva is a track that just talks about change. Like, we need change. It's one of those records. And my second record will be Kuraone. I lost a couple of family members last year, towards the end of last
I'm
year.
sorry to hear that. My
In
condolences.
it was in a very short space of time,
Mhm.
in a few months, one after the other. But I'm not saying everybody else was irrelevant. Everybody else meant a lot to me. But when I lost my grandparents, my grandmother, it was
It was
the
a lot.
worst.
I hear that.
So it's something she's always said to me growing up. Like she'd always tell me, "Kuraone." It means grow up and see. You think you're judging your mom or your dad for what they didn't do for you at that time. Okay, grow up and see. Have your own kids.
Mhm.
Or grow up and see, have your own house. Or you think I'm full of cock. You think I'm not fair. You think I'm cold. You think I'm heartless. Grow up and see.
Mm.
So it's something she's always said to me. And when she fell sick at that time, and when I got the news that she had passed, I was like, wow. Everything she said to me just suddenly came back, and I knew what I needed to do next. So the next time I was in the studio, I didn't even need to think of it. That song came to me so naturally, it was not even funny. When you don't even think of a chord progression, you don't even think of a rhythm, you just start writing music as it is. That's what happened with that record. I didn't do anything. I didn't write anything. It was just so that would be
Organic.
my number two. Yes, exactly. It was very organic, and it meant a lot to me. It still does. And my number three will be Namai Tambai.
Okay.
And that's me, Odious, and Evo. Me, Evo, and
Hmm.
Odious. Well, that record basically is it's basically about mothers, any mother out there that's that has a child, probably has graduated from mid preschool, high school, college, got a new job, moved out of the house, got married. You know, a child that achieves something good, that a mom feels good. Because I always remember how my grandmoms and them, when one of my siblings passes or does something great to the family, she'll be, oh, they do
Hmm.
that thing, they do the dance. I always remember that. So that song is for all the women out there that have felt happiness from their offsprings, you know. So yeah, those probably be. And then the fourth one, it gets a bit too deep though. The fourth one, but those three, those three, for me, yes, like those three definitely. Anything else that's dance floor orientated is more okay. Yeah, we can have fun and everything, but like I said before, I love positive music, and that's what I'm about. I'm about experiences. I'm about sharing what I'm feeling at that time. That's
Well,
really me, honestly.
that's super.
Boring, right?
Yeah. No,
Boring,
I
right?
wouldn't say boring. Like, and I'm just gonna now. It's been so great talking to you. I'll keep you more for
Mhm.
maybe my like another two questions. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna stop your
Shoot,
creative
shoot,
juices flowing. Okay.
shoot, man.
So we already mentioned Lizwie. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, who's your top five? Who would you like to work with?
Vocalists or producers?
Either or, sir. I don't ask easy questions, do I?
I hope these guys are watching this. I'm playing. I'm kidding. Okay. Um. Okay. Jeez. Why am I forgetting his name? He's on top of my list though. He's like I'm forgetting his name.
Don't sweat it.
Uh.
Just send me to the next person. It will come back to you.
Okay. Salif Keita.
Hmm.
It'd be great to have a record with that guy. I promise you. Salif Keita, it'd be amazing to have a record with him. Lalu.
Hmm.
Um. It'll be great. It would be great to have a record with Lizzy. It would be. Honestly, it would be. Wow. What's this guy's name, man? What's this old man's name, man?
Old man, you know.
Jeez, man. I'm trying. No, like I can't believe I actually forgot his name. That's on an interview, bro. That's embarrassing.
Don't be
That's
embarrassed,
literally
bro. That's the
no,
human
like
mind, you know.
it's no. It's not the heathen mind. Sorry, just give me a second. Like, how do I even forget his mind? Like, I mean, how do I even forget his name? Like, it's taboo. It's not even allowed. Okay, man. How do I even forget that? Like, out of all the like, I've been telling myself for years that if I get a record with this guy, one record with this guy, one record is all I need. And then all of a sudden I'm live and I mean I'm on an interview and I don't remember his name.
I tell you what, when you figure it out, you can message me back and I'll put it up on Drums Radio.
Nah, dude, no. You see, it's not gonna work. I remember, dude. Must be the cop.
He's a
Dallas to
cop.
see me. Dallas to
Oh,
see
okay.
me. Jesus. Oh gosh. I'm
Take
an
a breath
idiot. How
now.
do I ever forget that? Yes.
Take a breath now.
Dallas to see me. I'm
Yep.
sorry, sir. If ever you get to watch this, I'm sorry. But you are like a legend. You are like top of my list there. You're like a legend to me. Doing a record with you, like super amazing. So it's Dallas to see me, Salif Keita, Luigi is on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to some producers. Lalu. I did say
Mm-hmm.
Lalu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you said 5, right?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Number 5. Yeah, you did say 5. 5. This is tough.
That's why they
Five.
put me here, yeah, because I don't ask easy questions. I never ask easy questions. I'm that guy. So
All right, 5. Okay. Nah, dude, you're putting me in the spotlight, bro. Okay, look, I've I've always wondered. I've always
mhm.
wondered. Um, what kind of record I would make with maybe someone like the couple.
Okay.
I've always wondered, like, no, just out of curiosity, like, dude, if I was literally to make a record with this guy, how would that shit sound? Like, just curious though, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's really got to do with curiosity. Like, what kind of baby are we gonna make? You know, like it's like looking at, it's like imagine you're a bachelor. They put you in this, this live, this what you call this reality shows,
Mhm.
and you like maybe say the Bachelor, and then they put like different races and different
Different types of women
women,
there.
yeah, exactly, types of women in front of you, whether you're a lady or a guy. Maybe if you're a lady, they put different men in front of you. Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, what kind of what, what kind of baby will we make with this? So the couple for me was I always, it's really out of curiosity though. I've always
That's
wondered like
interesting
what kind
because
of kid.
the capo is a very fluid producer. I find like You know, like if you're talking about maybe who if you talk about like Bodhi Satbar, or you talk about Kulo de songs, yeah, very specific
Mhm.
sound, very
Mhm.
specific, very clear sound. Whereas the capo is very fluid. He moves around, he does what comes to him, I think,
That's
which is
what
good.
interests me. That's what interests me because I literally do the same thing. So I'll never be stuck on one particular style. If it's tribal, I can go tribal. Tech, I can go tech. Whatever style I'm feeling at that time, just depends on how I'm feeling. But so I kind of like admire that about him, and I've always wondered like if me and this dude were to sit in the studio together right now, what kind of baby would we make? Like
Mm.
seriously, what kind of baby would we like really
Yeah,
really
watch
make?
out you don't get like twins or triplets.
Oh, good. The more the merrier, bro.
Yeah.
The more
Well,
the
it's been
merrier.
great to have
Yeah,
you
but
though,
yeah.
bro. It's been
Ah,
great to
man,
have
thanks
you.
for having me, man. Thanks for
Right.
having me,
Like,
guys.
so
It was a
have you
blast.
got a
It was a blast.
final thought for me today? Okay, give me your final thought. Be like
Yeah.
Jerry Springer. What is your final thought for this interview on Drums Radio?
Okay. This is my favorite part of every interview, if I ever have an interview, is okay. To anybody going through stuff, all the producers, artists, vocalists, I don't care what it is. I don't care whether it's not music. It could be you're into film, whatever. I know artists are going through a lot of stuff right now, and the best way and the last thing I would want is for us to have a lot of depression cases, and I know those cases are common with artists a lot, but I want to encourage everybody to channel all your emotions into your art, channel all your emotions into your work. It works. If you're feeling angry, put it down in writing, put it down in your art, be it song, be it lyrics, I don't care what it is, be it painting, sculpture, pictures, whatever it is. Express it there. Don't ever keep stuff inside, and always find somebody to talk to. There's always people that care about you. And I mean, at the end of the day, life is too precious, man. And at the same time, we are only visitors when it comes to this place. So everybody has a purpose. So you're not a nobody. Don't ever let anybody tell you anything different. You're special. Everybody's special in their own way. Don't envy somebody's star. Everybody has a star. Everyone has a star. It just might not be the same as the person that you admire the most, but let the person be a motivation to you to be the best that you can be. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love
Like
that.
for example, I've I've uh I've loved Black Coffee for a very long time. I've admired him, but I've never wanted to be like him. Do you
Hmm.
understand? He motivated me. He showed me that it's possible for anybody to do something. In terms of like Afro House was nowhere at that time. Like it wasn't really anywhere. He finally managed to get it appreciated elsewhere. I mean, like when did you think Diddy would listen to Afro House? Well, he did that. So I respect him for that. I salute for him. I'm not saying that I want to be like him. Nah, totally different characters. But so even if you have an idol, don't ever compare yourself to your idol. Just be motivated by your idol.
I love that. I love
Don't
that.
compare yourself. Yes, because at the end of the day, you are your own star. Everybody has their own star. Everybody. Don't let no one harvest it for you. Just be you. So those will be my last words. Because I know there's a lot of I speak to uh, a lot of young ones as well. Even older guys that going through stuff, man. I speak to a lot of people, and it's really sad. Especially this time, it's really 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 sad. I mean, we've lost not even before the COVID thing. We've lost a lot of artists. Avicii died from depression. A lot of these artists have died from different stuff, successful and unsuccessful. So
Hmm.
it's just about I would just want to say, just you are your star. You are your own star. Believe in yourself and learn how to communicate. Communication is key, man. At the end of the day, it's always great to communicate. You know, If you can't communicate to people directly, talk through your art. Somebody will listen. Trust me. Eventually, somebody listens. So yeah, those would be my last word. Those would be my last words.
That's super cool, bro.
Yeah,
Well, thank
man.
you for joining me. Hang around
Nice.
while I wrap this up. We'll have another conversation. We'll just exchange details.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, man. I like that. I like that. Proper,
Right.
proper, man.
So let me wrap this up. Hang around for a second.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk some more.
Okay.
So it's been me. I'm Emerzy Corbin, the alchemist, artisan for Hair for Drums Radio, innovator, the one and only Shona. Like he said, if you feel pain, put it in your art. And with that, I'm gone. One love. And thanks for
Cheers.
tuning in.
Are we offline?
I don't think so. One sec, let me
Dude, don't give me a fright like that, man.
Sorry.
What if I was gonna smoke? What if I was gonna smoke a boogie and we're online? What?
I stopped smoking actually. I stopped smoking.
Nah, I haven't
I've
smoked in 10
been
years.
smoking. Yeah,
I
I
haven't
have
smoked
too,
in
but
10
that's why I
years.
had. Oh, that's really cool.
Not 10 years. I haven't touched weed in 10 years. Literally. It's just basically booze. That's it.
Yeah.
I
The
haven't.
weed in South Africa is so good though.
Dude, you want to know good weed? Go to Malawi, bro.
Malawi.
Bro. Anyway, what do I know?
What do you, you're there.
What do I
I'm
know?
not. So I can't allow that.
What do I know?
We're not supposed to have this conversation
Bro,
anyway. Not online.
bro. Yeah. We never had it. Let's just leave it at that. So anyway, I hope I didn't overdo anything. I hope I didn't embarrass you guys.
Embarrass who?
I get carried away.
You
Okay,
can't
cool.
embarrass me. I'm
Okay. Now I'm saying what?
How? I'm the
How does it even
person.
work?
No, because I'm that guy, and I am. Ask Stanby. I'm that guy. I'm the guy who says the thing that nobody else was thinking to say, and I say it in public, and people go, "You know where you look." My brothers, from when we were young, like my brothers look at me like.
Like you used to wet your bed when you were a kid.
Like,
right in front of your girlfriend. Like you used to wet your bed when you were a kid.
I was in Abu Dhabi taking pictures, right?
Yeah.
For event. Like, so one girl, she's drunk, she's giving me attitude. I say, you need to shut up with your big forehead. She complained that.
Did you slap her with the on the forehead while you were at it?
I didn't say nothing here, but she was just mad.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, if I was her, I'd actually be mad too. Really,
but her forehead was big. Her forehead was big.
Listen, like, you never tell a woman that she's got a big forehead, ever.
I know that. But I did it anyway.
Yeah. But you did it anyway, right? You still did it. My God, I'm sorry. Ooh, never. World War III.
So I'm the guy in it. I'm the guy.
Okay, I get you.
This is why I don't do any major drugs. I used to smoke weed. I stopped smoking weed. I don't drink. And this is why. Because I have no behavior.
You know, if I tell you why I stopped smoking weed, that's the funniest story ever. But anyway, that's a story for another day, man. Let's leave it for that. Let's leave it for the next time. That's a story for another day. But hey, dude, I haven't touched that in over 10 years, in over a decade. I'm afraid of that shit. Wow. Yeah, man. But anyway, guys, you guys were amazing.
I'll see where Danby's gone. It was so good to talk to you. That's my Instagram handle. So add me on Instagram and send me a message, and we'll chat. At Emerzy Corbin. Like I'm always there. You'll see my pictures and stuff. I take some dope pictures and things.
I'm actually gonna follow you now.
Cool,
Because
cool, cool. I'll
actually,
call her back.
this interview finished right in time because my battery is like on 9% now.
All right, cool. So I'll let you go.
Yeah,
And what
yeah,
I'll do is I'll call D and see what I've gone for her. All right?
yeah, yeah.
All right. Great to talk to you,
Anyway,
bruv.
anything else that I said that was irrelevant, just edit it out.
You're fine, bruv. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. It was all good. It was nice. It was nice.
Yo, my G. Anyway, man, thanks, man. Thanks,
Love and
dude.
love, yeah?
Cheers, man. Much love.
One.
One.